Welcome to the 21st Century Human podcast, where we discuss the techniques and technologies that we use in our everyday lives. And for the first time, we're in full Technicolor.
I'm back.
For our Christmas special. And we have the return of Mr. Goldsby as well. We've done a number of audio podcasts over the last 12 months, and the last 2 or 3 we've experimented with doing a bit of video. So for the Christmas special this year, we thought we'd get together, have a bit of a recap of the year,
and a bit of virtual,
and we thought we'd even jump into a bit of virtual reality at the end as well as a bit of a three-way fun for the end of the year.
How exciting is that?
Yeah.
So takeaways for 2017. What's been
your big takeaway for the year?
So one of my big takeaways has probably been cyber. So when I say cyber, I'm talking about hacks and big sort of enterprise government organisations being hacked, like the NHS earlier this year. Uber got hacked,
Millions of people's details been, leaked to the press.
And it's scary, isn't it? Equifax in America and all their sort of personal data being shared, and I think it's going to be a big trend for 2018 and onwards, trying to mitigate that, I think.
It's an interesting one talking about cyber risk, because I think there's always this conception that it's up to the enterprise to protect the edge of the network. Yeah. We're very much focused on individuals being better at protecting it. But lots of these hacks, like the Petrovirus and stuff, these are all NSA tools that got leaked. So the government-built tools that got leaked, that then cyber criminals have then used to go and destroy, damage the NHS and all these kind of things as well. And you think about recompense or taking out cyber security insurance policies as a board, you'd be thinking, well, do you go to the insurance company to get recompense, or are you going to go back to the government and say, well, you're developing these weaponized tools and then leaking them out into the public?
There was a recent hack on Wi-Fi as well, wasn't there? I'm trying to remember what it was called, where people were, if they logged onto a certain Wi-Fi router, it was basically scraping all their details off their mobile phone. Yeah. So it's everywhere, and I think personally you need to be a lot more aware of it now. You need to be a lot more aware and try to do something about it.
Yeah. Right. What are you interested? What's your big thing of the year, Bob?
Well, the Bitcoin thing. I think the cryptocurrencies thing has gone bonkers.
Has gone
crazy. $10,000 yesterday, I think.
If the taxi drivers and the baristas are talking about it, Bitcoin. It's gone mainstream.
Yeah. Up, down.
Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency in the world.
There's 500 and something at the last count, I think it was.
Even more.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah. Well, I was reading it just the other day. There's with all the anti-big platforms, the Google, the Facebook, taking all the money and all the rest of it, and cryptocurrencies being a good thing for that. The concept of a basic attention token, which everyone would have, and then you would pay, so there'd be no advertising online. The browser would be completely, clean, but you'd have this token that would then pay advertisers or individuals if you started looking at their site.
Oh wow!
So but whether that's ever going to get there, who knows?
And even though people are talking about it, I suspect your average person still doesn't know much about it. I still get a lot of people saying, "Well, what's Bitcoin?" There's still a lot of people out there that don't fully understand it.
I think the problem with it as well, it's been unregulated at the moment as well. The SEC haven't done anything about it as well.
It's blockchain, isn't
it? And people are jumping on it at the moment like it's an investment, and it's not an investment asset per se. So there's a good chance that we're still going to see bubbles pop and stuff.
What is it? And if you get paid in it, is it asset or is it income?
Exactly.
There's no tax.
No
so
tax
it's a big area. And a final was more of a disappointment of 2017 is AR, really.
It is and it's not. I think. We saw the launch of the new iPhone. Obviously, the iPhone X has come out, and the 8 Plus and iOS 11. And I was expecting, hopefully, that there was going to be more kind of depth, more AR capabilities baked into those devices. I mean, Apple they've got ARKit. And ARKit's actually gone on to we've got 500 million phones now that can all do AR, but the apps that have come out so far to date have been pretty basic. We're starting to see some newer ones coming out. IKEA's Place is pretty good.
That's supposed to be really good. Amazon's doing one as well, aren't they?
But they're still... I was using it in Sweden.
In Sweden?
In Sweden, to place
objects
an object in my daughter's new flat.
Nice.
Difficult,
but
then I'm.
It's the plane detection, So I'm still bearish on the whole idea of AR and VR.
So bullish. What was your product of the year?
This is really sad that I'm saying this, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but for me, it's Office 365. Microsoft Surface.
I'll plus one that.
I tell you what, I use it every day, and the product is growing all the time. New features are coming on all the time, and there's just so much you can do with it. People are probably using 5% of it, if that. And actually, it's such a powerful tool.
Yeah,
one of the things I was talking to the guys about earlier was there's a YouTube channel called Microsoft Mechanics.
Okay.
So if you go on there, the product owner or product manager for Office 365 goes on there and they do regular content around what's new, what's come in, why should you use this instead of this. And actually, I've been on there loads trying to learn more about Office 365. So that's been my go-to place, Microsoft Mechanics.
Yeah, and Teams has even made SharePoint usable. Unbelievable. Never thought those words would come out.
And within the LEF, we've all adopted Teams. We were on, as per se, on Chatter, which was mixed. Yeah. But because it's got all the files thing and the Teams thing and the chat thing and everything.
Do you think Teams will take on Slack?
I think in the enterprise, because I think Slack's too geeky. Slack's too devy. There's too many backslashes and too many codes and bots. I think for your normal user, if you can get people into something like Teams and Works and they see the benefit of communication that way and sharing files and it makes using the rest of Office 365 cleaner and easier, then
it's your go-to window, isn't it?
Absolutely,
it's like your shop window, isn't it?
Single pane into Office. It's really good.
My product of the year is the portrait mode on the iPhone.
On the iPhone,
that's awesome. That has just made
other phones available now. You can get it on the Samsung and the Google phone.
But I have since that came out, I've taken some really good photos.
I bet.
Yeah.
It's amazing actually, considering my friends were over on the weekend and they're still walking around with SLRs. Big cameras, that kind of stuff. But it's amazing what you can actually do. The cameras on these things now, especially now they've got the kind of machine learning effects on them as well. They're making normal people good at taking photos. Even me, good at taking photos.
Well, that was obviously on the Samsung and the Apple phones. You've got the two cameras, but obviously Google's a machine learning approach. One camera, and they're still getting a similar effect. So it's an interesting race at the moment in the phones.
Yeah. So in terms of moving on to
can I have my product?
Sorry.
Been left out.
Go on.
My product of the year is a universally derided product of the year, but I really love my Snapchat spectacles.
Yeah,
I love the case.
Yeah, the case is the battery. That's really quite cool, and it's been a flop for Snapchat.
It has.
They got
how much? How many millions?
Quite a bit. They got warehouses full of them,
but for cool value.
Well, no, just like
walking around.
Just the instant on capability of having a camera. What fascinates me is the bit we talked about at the start of the year when we were talking about HoloLens and Google Glass, right? And the pushback about Google Glass because you had a camera on your face when you had the conversation with people. Now, whereas I was wearing these in Dallas at a conference 6 months ago, and there was on the Saturday morning there was a cheerleader conference on there, so it was like 10,000 kids cheerleaders. And I got mobbed wearing them because all the kids recognised them and wanted to go. And this idea, in such a short space of time, you've gone from this camera on your face, having a conversation, being anathema, to having two cameras on your face, being perfectly acceptable to people like that. It's a really fascinating paradigm shift to watch. How
I love them. I think it's a great device, and I think it is blurring that line. I think where they've messed up is actually selling them. These pop-up shops that turn up and you never know where they were, and that's why they've got warehouses full of them. But the idea is perfect.
I mean, they don't do anything near as complicated as the Google Glass do. It literally just records 10 seconds of video. Like the fact that the funny thing is, the video I recorded I don't actually really put on Snapchat. I use it as a video capture. Put on Facebook and Instagram, the channels I actually use. But it's just the instant ability to press a button, instantly catch something straight away has been useful. And the other thing I've got is my...
this is cool.
We're big fans of 360-degree cameras, obviously, and we were talking at the start of the year, we had a Ricoh Theta cameras and stuff. But this is my new favourite one, is the Insta360. And because
4K?
But we can now live streaming it as well, which is the best bit. So no wires from the cameras to PCs to Hug VR anymore. It's literally plug it into your iPhone, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and press a button and you're live in 360.
And you're on.
Yeah. It's amazing, and it's such a small £200 package that everybody's a broadcaster.
And I must admit, the video quality is better than the Ricoh
it's really good.
It's really, really good.
And you're starting to see the platform ecosystem developing now. So this natively just plugs straight into Facebook Live, straight into YouTube Live as well. So all the kind of complexity as a user that you had at the start of the year to hack round broadcast, gone.
Getting removed.
Gone.
21st century human skills. Focusing on that for the year. What are the challenges we still see then? What are the things that we've noticed this year?
So obviously, I've not been part of your 21st century human program that you guys are carrying out at the moment. But one of the things I personally feel I come across quite a lot is habits and habit breaking and actually, we go back to Office 365 that we talked about earlier. It's so easy just to get people to fall into the trap of using Excel or PowerPoint because that's what they've always used. And actually, you can capture actions on Microsoft Planner. You could use Sway. There's loads. You know what I mean? Once you get in there, there's so much you can do, and it's better for the end user. But actually, trying to get someone to break that habit of always going there. And I've really, the only way I think you can do it is just physically sitting down with someone and showing them how to do it and being over them shoulder and coaching them almost. That's been my biggest digital skills. There's so much to go at, but actually sometimes it needs that human element just to sit down and go through it.
We found the same thing. We've got to
finding more and more of that.
Yeah, the coaching. We found some coaching resources that we can get people if people want that. That they can have that. Yeah. Well, of course, everyone would like it. It's whether you can afford to have it. But the more senior the person, the more having a one-to-one and showing them is.
I think it's gone too far MOOC related. We've outsourced too much to LMS systems and expected the humans to go and just
learning management systems.
Go do it all in your own type of thing. And there's so much out there now. I think that a little bit of that personal touch. It can be done remotely, but better face to face. But if you can do a little bit of just show people how to be slightly better and get them to practice a little bit so it sticks. That's the thing.
And the other half for us, when we're trying to look at what is the motivator for people doing this, it's about your career.
Yes.
And if you don't value your career and you don't want to improve it, then don't do anything. But there's so many elements of digital with that foundation, which is central to everything that you do. It's not making yourself completely digitally,
represented in VR.
Yeah, but it's kind of like look at the little things that you can do.
Yeah.
If you're not showing up well, if you're not using some of these things, it's not going to look good for you.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, that's been the thing of the year. We've done a lot of sessions with lots of clients and other people through the year, and it's the one thing that I've not seen a marked improvement really. If you think from a technology point of view, where we started at the start of the year and we were talking about, we had older iPhones and we had earlier 360 cameras and we had earlier VR headsets.
AR things.
Just in 12 months, the technology has massively ramped on again. Just in 12 months, it's been staggering again how much advancement's happened in that 12-month space.
Yeah.
But from a skills piece of view, I still don't think people are scratching the surface yet of actually really getting better yet. And that's kind of my mission for 2018, I think, as well. I'm just going to, how do we help people get slightly better at those skills, I think.
That leads us nicely on to 2018, actually, doesn't it?
Well, so we're going to do that. No, we're going to do last. Okay, so 2018.
2018. So I suppose what sort of things you guys are looking forward to for 2018?
I think for me, it's like we've just said. It's cracking the code on getting people to do
the secret sauce.
When we're taking people on a program, it's making sure they follow through and seeing the real value of them getting benefit and trying to measure that so that we can see that this stuff does make a difference. That's the holy grail.
One of the things that gets me excited about, it got me excited about 2017, but even more so about 2018 and the rate and what we just talked about, the pace that it's going at is machine learning.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see it across data sets and that traditional sort of space where you're trying to get a better insights out of data. But one of the big things I'm starting to notice is the machine learning at the edge. So this is Internet of Things and devices at the edge and processing at the edge. Instead of just doing it at the edge, you now put in machine learning there. So a good example from a consumer point of view is a Google camera that's come out called Clips. It's been out, so I think you can get it in America now. It's been out for a few weeks. And this is a camera that you put in your home and it's using machine learning to recognise your face, your family, and it will come on and it will go off and it's capturing clips of video and picture. And then you start thinking, well, God, it's now encroaching into your personal space, and you start looking at Amazon and where we're going with that.
They got their new fashion camera as well, haven't they? So that it's going to look. You get dressed in front of it in the morning, it'll tell you, do I look good? These kind of things.
Oh, you'll have to have one of those.
Yeah. Well, with my fashion, my Batman Christmas jumper on. That's what I'm saying.
So for me, that's a big thing for 2018. I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit concerned. Are we, again, as digital humans, ready for that? Are we ready for machine learning?
I don't think people know what it means yet. Yeah. I mean, I think the industry I'm looking for next year again is the ongoing development of the VR space and the AR space. Microsoft are muddying the water slightly because they've got this mixed reality concept they call now, and that's already. I mean, lots of.
Isn't that just VR with bits?
No, it's the. So they what they've done is they've OEM'd part of the HoloLens capability we talked about in the year, and they've baked some of that into the headset. So the headsets are becoming, and they've given that so you can get Samsung, Windows mixed reality headsets, and Lenovo,
cheap
and
as
HP.
well.
Yeah, they're in that kind of like £300 mark now as well. The interesting thing for that will be how much. So headset sales this year have first time tipped over 1 million for HMDs for the big VR headsets. And it'd be interesting to see what happens next year with that kind of lower price point, and the fact that they're now standard for Windows 10, and you're getting that natural progression of, instead of buying £3,500 laptops to run it on, the cost of that's just driving down. So it'd be interesting to see now how that ecosystem platform starts to mature. Now Microsoft are actually in the game. We're not just in Oculus and we're not just in Steam VR.
Yeah.
So you should start to see maybe some more business usage, more business cases.
I don't think it'll be the 3D TV. I think it is going to be. I think it is going to take off. And what you've always said is content is king.
Yeah, exactly, for this stuff. But you have to have enough platform people there building the stuff to make it worthwhile, really. So that's going to be fascinating to watch how that accelerates again next year now as well. So yeah. Cool.
Okay, so tips for or products or tips for Christmas.
So for me, I used to love playing with Meccano as a kid and Lego and all that good stuff. And Meccano have brought out the Mega Spider. So you build this as a kid, and you have to go in
from age 4 plus? 6
No,
plus?
I'm thinking more like 10, 9.
Plus.
Yeah. And what you need to do, you actually need to program the Mega Spider to move around and everything. So it's actually teaching kids, I think it's Python, so a programming language that they need to use. But I love the idea. You get it as a box, you put all the bits together, you program it, the opportunities with it is endless, and you can do loads of different things with it. So expensive present, but if I was 10, that's what you'd want. That's what I'd want.
These Anki guys so my product is the Anki Overdrive, which we've got to the side here, but these little cars that you put on a racetrack, and they
really good.
They map the whole racetrack out, and then you can get weapons, and it's like Scalatrix but without the rails. And it's really good fun.
Just lost 10 minutes to it.
We're gonna play that later. But they've also got a thing called Cosmo, which is a little robot, which again you can program. You can see through it. £200, but you might like that.
Well, yeah. So my Christmas toy ones for me, it depends. This is the frustration I have. If I'm buying one for myself, or I'm buying one for my 2.5-year-old daughter. So if it was myself, Disney and LucasArts have released basically the Star Wars. It's like an AR Star Wars game, basically. So it's a very low cost kind of phone-based visor you can wear, but you basically do lightsaber battles. So I'm fascinated to see kind of what that. You get a really premium lightsaber, and
so you haven't got one yet.
Well, no.
Santa hasn't been yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully
Santa's been yet.
No, hopefully come for Christmas. But for my daughter, probably.
Have you been good with this?
No, funny enough, a friend of ours sent us a tweet this morning that Lego have released a Lego kit, but it's an augmented reality Lego kit. So you basically build the robots, and it's got augmented reality dragons in it. And B is obsessed with dragons. So you build the robots in the Lego piece, and then the Lego characters you build interact with an augmented reality dragon that breathes fire. So I think it'll have to be probably going to be the AR dragon for Christmas, I imagine. So that's probably my tip for a top toy for Christmas will be that.
Yeah. So Christmas is going to come early for Dave because we're going to present a 21st Century Human Award, which is quite a rare thing.
Oh yeah,
I think you actually
Dave
number 2
for his contribution.
Sticking with it.
We do give these out at our workshops for people that excel over the course of the thing. But we'd like you to accept that on our behalf.
Oh, thank you. Round of applause.
It's very Kryptonian styling, I think, a bit of cut glass.
One for your desk or your mantelpiece at home.
And
if anyone wants one in 2018, then you know where to,
you know who
to contact.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank my mum.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. No, thank you.
So we're gonna move into.
Yeah. At this point, we were going to just finish off. We're all going to try and jump in. We got a load of Oculus Rift set up in the room today. We've got 3 Rifts up, so we're going to try and jump into a VR environment for the last part of the podcast and just see where we go. So
VR,
if this works, then the end of this video will have a bit of us in VR, right?
Yes,
if it doesn't work, I'll say
VR is here.
Yeah.
The real world.
Yeah, the real world's there.
The racetrack is there.
Yeah, so there's
the real world is out there.
If it doesn't work, then we'll say a preemptive Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you for more podcasts in 2018. If it does work, we'll say the same thing in a couple of minutes inside virtual reality. Right, let's get in. I guess if this works. There, cool. So, hello everybody. After that shortcut, we've teleported into a virtual world space. Look, so it's a bit sunnier here and a bit warmer than it is in King's Cross, where we are at the moment. So, yeah, we thought in the new year we might experiment with this. We've got a colleague of ours in Australia who wants to do a podcast with us, the 21st Century Human. So we thought if we could get a kind of a 3 or a 4-way VR one going, we might try and do an experiment like this. But this seems to work, doesn't it? We're all in.
Right,
yeah. We did try to get.
Like we're on this. It's very similar to where we are. Really.
Yeah.
Although it's open, but it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's good.
Right, anyway, so on that note, we will say a proper Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will see you, we'll see you for a new year, for another 21st Century Human podcast. So bye for now. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.